Continuing on the custom car review streak, we're going to be talking about a LR, I think it's a Fusing Kefla, I think it is, a Cabe, and a Hit. It's coming from our guy Apollo, and it's his first custom car. It's pretty dope. But before I go and read Apollo's custom cards, send me Dokkan concepts over to bhfcustomcards@gmail.com so I get to your Dokkan concept as soon as possible. I get all these recent and older Dokkan concepts out the way. So Apollo says, "Hey Dev, I hope this can make it into a video." Here we are today. These are my first set of custom cards. These first two units are kind of a pair, so I hope you're able to cover both. I'm going to be covering both today. Hit, on the other hand, is kinda a standalone. Okay, so with that being said, Apollo, thank you for sending your custom cards. We're going to cover all three of them today because why not? Alright, so I have the 220s pulled up for both like the Hit and the like Fusing Kefla kind of card, because I did scroll down to see if it was like a Kefla unit, and it practically is. Alright, so I am covering it, so I might as well just go ahead and turn my camera off so you guys can see the full scope of things. Alright, so what do we have here? We have Unbreakable Bond of Universe 6, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, and... oh, Kefla. Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa, and Super Saiyan 2 Kale. They are Super Int, and they're like an exchange. That's cool. Yo, this presentation is so good. And you guys have to excuse me. I am just waking up just about an hour ago. So if I do fumble a couple of words and I do misread something, I am completely sorry. And these are their 55% stats. I do like the typewriter font. So yeah, I am a fan of that. Of course they're an LR, they're super int, and they do have like a little like reversible exchange thing. That's cool. Their stats are shown 55%, 12,000 defense at 55%, as well as 18,000 attack. So defense is actually on the higher end for 55%, you would not like to assume, and the attack is on the lower end. No? Probably. Alright, so what do we have here? The leader skill is Universe 6, Bond of Friendship, or Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Category 3 key, 200% HP, and 170% the stats. And the additional 50% the stats goes to Rapid Growth or Miraculous Awakening. Alright, so I did pull up their 220. I'm not gonna lie, their 220 is not really too great, in my opinion, because outside of the few good options, that being both the 6-year EZAs, that being 3 of the 10th year LRs being on this team, and then LR Go Tanks, you have Tech UI for his domain, and probably another option I'm skimming over, that being this Tech Super Saiyan 3 Go Tanks. I mean, but of course you have to dodge with this guy, obviously, because, you know, he's one of those units where he needs to dodge, and he can't really take normals that well from some of these current bosses. Outside of the units I just named, this team is not all that great, and I would definitely say that this team is more so carried off of the Bond of Friendship, as well as Power Beyond Super Saiyan and Miraculous Awakening part of the leader skills. These three, I would say, is more so carrying it, because if it was just Universe 6 and Rapid Growth plus Bond of Friendship, then this team would pretty much just be dirt. So it would just be these three right over here carrying it, that being this Bond of Friendship, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and Miraculous Awakening, because if we didn't have these specific three, this team would just be a lot worse. And this is just basically not counting the reversible exchange, like Kefla unit, the fusing little reversal exchange thing, as well as of course the Cabe and the Hit, who we're going to get to later on in the video. But yeah, this team is not all that crazy in my opinion, outside the units of course that Apollo went ahead and created for the 220 that the reversible exchange card that they're reading right now has. Okay, so the passive, that being for the sake of our universe, the basic effects 5 key and 200% attack and defense baseline, as well as 3 key per type keys are obtained. And universe 6 category allies get 1 key and 40% defense, so nice. And for 4 turns from the character's entry, a 70% chance to dodge, as well as guarantee guard. Okay, so that's granted within those first 4 turns, right? So that is good. As well as 300% defense. Wow. So within the first 4 turns, you get guard, a 70% chance to dodge, and 300% defense. That's pretty damn good. Wow. Alright, and per Universe 6 for Miraculous Awakening category ally on the team, this card gets a 16% chance to dodge up to 60%. Very nice. And I'm going to assume those are 2 separate dodge procs for that 70% chance to dodge for those first 4 turns, as well as that 60% chance to dodge for you having those specific category characters on the team. And when attacking, you get 200% attack, as well as when attacking with 10 or more key, you are effective against all types. And when attacking with 20 or more ki, launches an additional super attack as the first attacker in a turn, and launches an additional attack that's a 70% chance to become a super attack. And when receiving an attack, 100% defense additionally, and starting from the 4th turn of battle, meets up with Super Saiyan Kale and can perform reversible exchange. So this is the Khalifa part of the card. So Khalifa looks pretty, she looks pretty good. Looks pretty damn good. Alright, so her super attack effects. So for her 12 ki, she's stacking attack, getting 50% defense for one turn, and having a 30% chance to crit. In her 18 ki, she's greatly stacking attack, getting 50% defense for one turn, and that is all. Alright, so those additional super attack chances, as well as that, well, excuse me, there's only one additional super attack chance built into her, as well as one guarantee super. That is definitely helping her for her to be able to stack her attack into her 12 ki, as well as her having that baseline 30% chance to crit. I like the design of this Khalifa. I do, because not only is she a support type unit, but she's also getting 3 ki per type ki sphere obtained, as well as having 2 separate dodge procs, of one being a 70% chance to dodge, one being a 60% chance to dodge. Granted, of course, you have those specific category characters on the team, which you're going to because she's leading. Well, she's not leading Miraculous Awakening, because that is a part of her 50% part of her leader skill, but she technically, that is technically part of her leader skill, because of course that's a 50% of the stats. So a 70% chance to dodge and a 60% chance to dodge separate, as well as guard, and 300% defense. And she also gets 100% defense when she receives an attack, as well as her having one guarantee super built into her and an additional super attack chance to build into her, so she can stack up her attack. I would say she looks pretty damn solid to me. Because when, granted, if you're not lucky enough to get that, if you somehow make it past 3 checks where you don't have that 70% chance to dodge to proc, and you don't have that 60% chance to dodge to proc, and you, for whatever reason, you put dodge into her, and you don't have that dodge to proc, and she takes a normal, she's going to have guard with 300% defense for those first 4 turns, as well as that 100% defense when she receives an attack. So she's looking pretty good on stats wise, and she gets 200% attack when attacking, bro. She's good. I would say she's certainly good. This 3 ki per ki obtained is definitely very helpful to her, because considering the fact that she's not an orb changer, I do like that 100%. Khalifa's looking good. All right, so let's see the okay, so we gotta look at Kale first, and for Khalifa, she has the Patara fusion, I assume. Yeah, she does. Okay, so performs a Patara fusion that lasts 4 turns and can be activated starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle once only, be it before or after reversible exchange. Okay, but we're going to take a look at Kale first, obviously. And I do like that within those first 4 turns, you can seamlessly just exchange over into Kale. So you don't even have to worry about you losing that those stats, as well as that 70% chance to dodge with that guard. It seamlessly works because it's just 4th turn start battle, meet up with Kale. I like it. It's great. All right, so Kale. Let's see what Kale has for us. All right, so Kale. All right, so our passive can perform reversal exchange with Super Saiyan Khalifa. Okay, 5 ki, 200% attack and defense, and 3 ki per ki obtained. I'm pretty sure that's what Khalifa has. Yeah, practically the same thing. As well as the 3 ki per ki obtained. Alright, so she's still given that that support, that 1 ki, and 40% defense. So that's pretty much the same thing. So let's see what Kale is doing. So Kale. Alright, so Kale, she gets a 16% chance to dodge up to 60%, just like Khalifa. And she gets 200% defense when attacking, as well as guard. Alright, and when attacking with 10 or more ki, she gets 5% damage reduction up to 40%. Alright, so that's each time she attacks, I assume. And when attacking with 20 or more ki, she launches a guarantee super as the 2nd or 3rd attacker in the turn. Okay, so she wants to be inside slot 2 or slot 3. More so often than not, it's going to be slot 2. And her super attack, her 12 ki, she greatly stacks defense, and she gets 50% attack for 1 turn, and has a 30% chance to crit. In her 18 ki, she greatly stacks defense, and has 50% attack for 1 turn, and that is it. So she is the defensive stacker, and Khalifa is the offensive stacker. All right. So this Kale can get up to a 60% chance to dodge with guard, and she could build up damage reduction. So at most, she can get up to 40% damage reduction with guard and a 60% chance to dodge. That is nutty as hell. That is very, very good. That's seriously good. Um Now honestly, I'm gonna say that the Khalifa part of the card is better to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Khalifa part of the card is better to me. And the only reason I say that is because those two separate dodge procs, as well as her being able to have those two plus supers built into her, that being an additional super attack chance, one being guaranteed. She Khalifa looks better to me. Now, certainly, Kale is definitely good because she has every defensive ability to fall back on. But I feel as if though Kale is better. Not Kale, my bad. Khalifa is better. And that's only because of the two separate dodge procs. That's very strong, bro. Guard with two separate dodge procs, as well as her having lots. Does she have more stats than Kale? Does she? 200% attack and defense, of course, baseline. 200% defense when attacking. Yeah. Because all Kale has is 200% defense when attacking, as well as 200% attack and defense to start turn. And, of course, the support type buff. And then Khalifa has, of course, the 200% attack and defense start turn. She has the 40% defensive support, obviously like Kale, and 300% defense within those first 4 turns, as well as 200% attack when attacking, 100% defense when receiving an attack. Yeah, Khalifa just seems far better. And of course, she has the offensive stacking, obviously. Now you could. Nah, I think Khalifa's better. All right, let's see the Patara fusion. Oh wait, whoa, hold on. Berserk Kale? I might have spoke too soon. All right, let me see what Berserk Kale is looking like. How do you go into Berserk Kale? Can be activated upon entering attacking turn once only, be it before or after reversible exchange. Okay. So this is using the active skill. Okay, so if you use the active skill for Khalifa, you get Kefla. If you use the active skill for Kale, you get Berserk Kale. Okay. I'm going to assume that Kefla is going to supersede Berserk Kale. I'm just going to assume. I'd be surprised if Kefla's not better than Berserk Kale's active skill. All right, anyways. So what do we have here? So for one turn, turns into Berserk. 5 key, 200% attack and defense, as well as 3 key per type key sphere obtained, of course. Turns all key spheres into int key spheres and launches a guarantee super per rainbow key sphere obtained. Okay. And allies get 600% defense. And this is all for that one turn for her being in Berserk. Wow. This is crazy. So she's protecting the entire rotation with 600%. Wow. That is crazy. I'm going to assume that she's a nuker because she's changing the entire key sphere, like the entire key field, into int. All right, when attacking, 200% defense, guard, as well as for every key sphere obtained, 10% attack. Makes a whole lot of sense because she's changing the entire field to int. And when receiving an attack with 10 or more key, she gets 5% damage reduction up to 40%, so just like her base, and launches an additional attack as a 70% chance to become a super attack. That is added on, I assume, right? That is added on. That is okay. And when attacking with 20 or more key, launches an additional 18 key super as the second or third attacker in the turn. And she just has one super attack effect, and that's her greatly stacking attack, and she's an AoE. Her note functions as a rage mode / giant form similar to Tech Beerus or AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT. This right here is uber strong. Not only is she protecting the entire rotation with 600% defensive support to allies, but bro, that's for herself too. Bro, she is This is crazy. This is crazy. But not only is she protecting the entire rotation, but she's creating the whole field. Bruh. My only thing is, she's not gonna be able to get this off because she wants to be inside slot 1 to collect all those key spheres. Yeah. She becomes a nuker. So this is gonna be virtually useless because she's not sitting inside the second or third slot because you're gonna grab that full field of key spheres for that 10% attack per key sphere obtained. 1,000%. So this attacking with 20 more ki is virtually worthless because you want that full field of orbs for her. But other than that, she is crazy. This is her strongest ability. This is so crazy. But outside of that, she still has that guard with that 40% damage reduction, but she loses that dodge. Not that it matters, because the fucker has the Okay, wow, that's very strong. All right, let's see what Kefla's looking like. If you, of course, for Khalifa. All right, so Kefla, who I'm going to assume is far stronger than fucking than Berserk Kale. Okay, so she fully recovers HP, so a free Senzu Bean, as well as nullifying negative effects, very strong. 300% attack and defense at the start of turn. 3 ki per ki obtained. Unrestricted guard. Unrestricted 30% damage reduction, and she launches a guaranteed 18 ki super. She gives Universe 6 category allies 3 ki and 70% attack and defense, and she has a 70% chance to dodge. Holy shit, she is crazy. And for every attack performed, she debuffs the enemy's defense by 6% up to 75%. Not the craziest, but there's that. And she has a chance to crit plus 15% up to 100%, so she can get up to a guaranteed crit. And when attacking, she gets 200% attack as well as 20% damage reduction. Bro, this fucking card is crazy. When attacking with 10 or more ki, effective against all types. When attacking with 20 or more ki, launches a guaranteed 18 ki super. As the second or third attacker in the turn, she gets 20% damage reduction additionally, and launches an additional that has a 70% chance to become a super attack. And for 4 turns from character's entry, foresees enemy super attacks, and she only gets 1 super attack effect of her greatly stacking attack and defense. Her categories as shown, that is a lot of categories, so please forgive me, Apollo, for not reading those, as well as all the link sets for the characters and the resources as shown. Okay, so you can just go ahead and wow, the 200% is already pulled up for me. So Carnival hits right there, Cabe's right there, as well as the 220% leader skill. Okay, so Khalifa has Super Saiyan, Battlefield, BFL. Okay, so Kale and Khalifa have the same exact link set. They do. The only one that has a different link set is Kefla. Kefla gets Fused Fighters replaced from Warriors from Universe 6. And Power Bestowed by God replaces Prepare for Battle. And that is it. Only 2 links change. Outside of that, all the links remain the same between all 3 of these versatile exchange as well as the active skill. Alright. So, Kefla. Kefla is easily the best part of this card. I mean, Berserk Hail, crazy, because you protect the entire rotation, you nuke, and you also have the 2 strong defensive abilities to fall back on. But Kefla is far and away easily the best part of this card, because not only is she nullifying negative effects, and you have a Senzu Bean at the start of turn, but she also has Guard, and she gets up to how much damage reduction? Granted, let's say you fulfill this card's damage reduction. So that's 20% damage reduction as the second attacker right over here. That's 20% damage reduction when attacking, so that's 40%. So 40 into 30. This card gets up to 70% damage reduction with guard, as well as how many supers? Oh, and a 70% chance to dodge. This card gets up to 70% damage reduction with a 70% chance to dodge with guard on the defensive end. So this card has every defensive ability. She has foreseeing supers. She gets how many supers? She gets 1 right over here, that's an additional super attack chance. She gets 1 right over here, being a guarantee super. Alright, so that is, for 3 turns from character's entry turn, 50% damage reduction. Are you fucking kidding me? Wait. Okay, so, launches a, let me just get all the offensive abilities out the way. So not only can she build up to a guaranteed crit, but she also gets, that's 1 super, that's 2 supers, that is 3 supers. Okay, so she can get up to 3+ supers, 2 being guaranteed, and 1 being an additional chance. So she can get up to, the fucker can get up to 3+ supers. She can get, what else? She can get up to a guaranteed crit. And on the defensive end, I forgot to read this, for 3 turns, she gets 50% damage reduction. Bro, you guys remember how I said she gets up to 70% damage reduction? Scratch that. She gets up to 120% damage reduction when she's inside slot 2. So 120% damage reduction, a 70% chance to dodge, as well as guard, fully recovering HP, nullifying negative effects, 3+ supers, a guaranteed crit buildup, ridiculous support when you're a Universe 6 character, that being 3 key and 70% attack and defense. This card is almost doing it all. The only thing this card's missing, to my knowledge, is orb changing, which she does not need because she's already 3 key per keys for obtained. Alright. And just a stacker. Because she needs to be a stacker. Yeah, she needs to be a stacker. Kefla is crazy. Kale, I would say, is also crazy. Kale's base is also pretty good, not gonna lie. And Khalifa is nutty as hell. Alright, so we're on to the banner unit Kabe. Kabe, what do we have here? These are stats at 55%. A bit on the lower end, but, you know, I mean, the defense is not too shabby at 55%. Okay. Alright, so, Kabe, what do we have here? Alright, so for the protection of Universe 6, Kabe, his leader skill is Universe 6 or Bond of Master and Disciple. 3 key, 130% across the board. Bun's leader skill, but obviously he's a banner unit. You're not using a banner unit as a leader skill. His passive, that being For My Friends, the Saiyans, and My Universe. Activates the interest animation when HP is 70% or less, or when there is a Kale or Khalifa ally attacking in the same turn, starting from the 3rd turn from character's first appearance. Alright, so 150% attack and defense, as well as directing all enemy attacks towards his character and dodging them for 1 turn only. Nice. And his base effects, he gives Universe 6 category allies 50% attack and defense. Nice. As well as him launching an additional attack that's a 50% chance to become a super attack per rainbow keys to obtain. Cool. And he is a unrestricted rainbow orb changer. I do like that. So that's directly supporting him getting that additional super attack chance per rainbow keys to obtain. Very nice. And cohesive. And when attacking with 12 more key, he gets 140% attack and defense. And when HP is 50% or less, he guards all attacks. Okay. And when dodging enemy attack, Universe 6 category allies get 2 key. And he gets an additional 20% attack for himself. And his super attack, he stacks attack and does supreme damage to enemy. And his unit super, I'm assuming when you have a Kale Khalifa on the same turn, he raises allies attack and defense for 2 turns and does immense damage. And it can be activated, of course, when you have a Kale Khalifa on the same attacking turn. And his categories, I mean, it's not really too much, but I'll read it anyways. So Universal Survival Saga, Pure Saiyans, Rapid Growth, Bond of Master and Disciple, Universe 6, Tournament Participants, Defenders of Justice. His link set, Saiyan Warrior Race, the Saiyan Lineage, Courage, Warriors of Universe 6, Tournament of Power, and Prepare for Battle. And of course, there's the resources for the units under leader skill and so on and so forth. So Kabe is going to be, is he locked to slot 1? This character's probably locked to slot 1, excuse me. This character's locked to slot 2 or slot 3. Yeah. He doesn't seem that good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The Kabe seems kind of ass. Outside of that first turn of him having that guaranteed dodge and protective rotation, he seems kind of buns. Like, kind of ass, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, 150% attack at even start turn. He's getting an attack and defensive buff inside his passive. He's not getting a... Technically, he's getting a defensive buff on super, which of course, yeah, he is. He's getting an attack and defensive buff from his passive to his super attack effects. He is, because you're going to have that. You're going to have this crazy ass unit on the same rotation of this card. This is one of those cards that's going to be sitting inside slot 3, just floating. Yeah. Because he has no defensive ability to speak of unless you're below this HP threshold. He seems kind of meh. He's meant to be like a slot 3 support. He doesn't seem too crazy to me, in my opinion. Yeah. Maybe Kabe could have had a little bit more. This unit right here, though, is crazy strong. And I gotta say again, I love the presentation of like these units. I'm a huge fan. So Hit, who I'm going to assume is very broken. What do we have for Hit? So time shattering technique, and these are our stats at 55%. Wow, the defensive stat is crazy at 55%. Alright, so his leader skill is Accelerated Battle 4 key and 220% across the board. Now, I'm gonna say this just outright, and we're gonna talk about this category for the least amount of time as possible. This category is very good. Outside of the solid leaders, I would say, that this team has for this category, that being Glorio, that being the GOAT, this team is very strong. You have not only two of the best units in the game, that being the AGL Gogeta as well as the Tech Vegito, but you also have some strong EZAs on here, like that being this Tech Scouter Vegeta, just Tech Giant form Vegeta. He's a very strong unit, a very formidable slot 1 unit. You also have a bunch of you also have the LR Super Saiyan Force EZAs on you. You have LR Janemba on here. This team is super good. I forgot to mention the Go Frieza, the LR Int Go Frieza too. Yeah, this team's super good. That's all I'm gonna leave off at. You have Diamond Goku on here too. You have Glorio the GOAT on here too. You have the physical Super Saiyan 3 Diamond Vegeta. Who else do you have here on this team? You do have STR Kebu, you have STR Cell, you also have, who else? You also have Int Janemba too. Very nice. There are some dimes on this team. There definitely is. Yeah, you also have a bunch of Super EZAs on here, no? You have you, but you're more so better at the beginning part of the fight. This team's good. This is a good team. You also have Tech UI for his domain too. Obviously, just like this 220% leader skill for the Kefla. I would easily say that Accelerated Battle, Hit's leader skill, is way better than Kefla's leader skill. That's just in my opinion, though. Alright, so let's see what Hit is doing. Alright, so what does Hit have for us? So Hit, so My Time Skip is Unbeatable, is his passive name. Alright, so his base effects, he starts out with 270% attack and defense. And he also gives Accelerated Battle category allies 30% attack and defense. Nice, so he's supporting the team that he's leading. I always like that. When receiving an attack, he has a 30% chance to counter with Ferocious Power. And when attacking, he has a rare chance to stun. Alright. And for every type key sphere obtained, he gets 16% defense up to 65%. And when the domain realm in which time is irrelevant, or time's irrelevant, is active, he gets 12 key and 150% attack and defense, and he launches an additional super attack, as well as him being effective against all types, and a chance to counter +7 per type key sphere obtained, up to 40%. Okay, so he's building up this chance to counter, and he also foresees enemy super attacks for 1 turn when the domain is active, of course, and he guards. And his active skill, that being of course the realm in which time's irrelevant, he creates the domain for 3 turns, massively raises attack, and can be activated starting from the 4th turn of battle, or when there's a Goku enemy. This is a 4th turn active skill. Cannot be activated when there's a Jiren enemy. Makes sense, because, to the anime. Alright, so the domain, realm in which time's irrelevant. Tournament participants or Universe 6 category allies get 3 key and 200% attack. God damn. Wow, okay. And delays enemies' attacks for 2 turns. For every Accelerated Battle category ally, he launches a guarantee super. His 12 key, he gets 30% attack and defense 1 turn. And his 18 key, he stacks attack and defense. And his unit super can be activated when there is an ally whose name is Goku attacking in the same turn. He raises allies' attack and defense for 2 turns. Okay. And he's on Rapid Growth, Universe 6, Super Bosses, Tournament Participants, Space Driving Warriors, Legendary Existence, Target Goku, and Accelerated Battle. So he's buffing some of these weaker teams. And his link set, Infighter, Experienced Fighters, Cold Judgment, Warriors of Universe 6, Shocking Speed, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This guy's linking partner, who his best linking partner is easily going to be, is these fuckers right over here. And when these guys eventually get an EZA, oh my god. And then when there's an eventual LR hit, this is going to be a power rotation. This is going to be a power duo. 1000%. Bro, it's so crazy that Dokkan can keep Universal Survival Saga a relevant team for as long as they need to, because they can drop options and then EZA characters who still need EZAs, like this fucking unit, for example. It's so crazy to think you can still complete content, you can complete variety of content in Dokkan right now, that being meta or off meta content to this day, just because Universal Survival Saga is a relevant team right now. Now, granted, is it a top 10 team? I would probably say yes. I'd say yes. I'd say it is. Because as much as people don't like that STR Evolution Blue Vegeta, he's still a 220. 220s are the meta. And I would say that that team would have to be relevantly a top 10 team. So with that being said, LR Hit, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't quite understand this unit. I'm going to assume his gimmick is to get his domain out as fast as possible. I don't quite understand Jiren. My God, my bad. Hit. I don't understand him. He's a bit, I don't know, a bit weird. On the offhand, he doesn't really have. He gets most of his gimmicks from his domain being up, with him having 12 key and 150% attack and defense, a guarantee super, feather against all types. Him being able to get that counter chance from 40%. It's like he can get up to a 70% chance to counter because he gets an additional counter chance. But that's when his domain is up. He gets most of the stuff that he wants when the fucker's domain is up. And spoiler alert, the domain is pretty much well over 3/4 of the card. This is his card when his domain is not up. This, no bullshit. This is it. This is his domain when his, excuse me. This is his card when his domain's not up. And when his domain is up, he gets all of this. The stats, the guarantee super, as well as the foreseeing supers, the guard within that the turn, of course. As well as him giving the stats, as well as when the domain's up. Yeah, this is what he's getting when his domain's up. He's one of these cards that wants to have his domain up. When his domain's up, he looks pretty damn good. I would say so. Delays enemy attack for 2 turns. That's crazy as hell. God damn. Okay. All right, so that's gonna be about it. Hit looks good, but I'm going to assume I'm not really quite understanding him too well. But I'm going to assume he wants to have his domain up, to have all those stats and stuff up. But yeah, Hit looks good. I probably just don't understand him as well as I should. Kabe looks kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie. He's one of those cards gonna be slot 3. And then Kefla is broken. Bad leader skill, but broken, I would say. Well, bad mid leader skill. Mid leader skill, but busted as hell. Kabe, buns, I'm not gonna lie. And then Hit, I don't understand him, but for what I'm seeing, when you get that domain up, he is ridiculous. I'm going to just off of that. And this is a Legends card, I assume, too. This Dragon Ball Legends card. And Hit's leader skill is ridiculously good. It's a good leader skill. 10,000%. Man, bro, Universal Survival Saga, man. The fact that it's a relevant team right now to this day, man, is it off of the basis that they have a 220? Yes, it is. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Send me Dokkan concepts over to bhjfcustomcards@gmail.com so I get to your Dokkan concept as soon as possible. I get all these recent and older Dokkan concepts out the way. This is the more recent Dokkan concept. Then I would say this is a good concept. It is. Where are we at? We're at 30 minutes in the video. Wow. Usually I keep it shorter because, of course, attention, what is it called? Is it like retention span? Attention span? It's attention span. The attention span of people nowadays it's very low. So I like to keep it at least around 15. It's I know back then I really didn't really think about it too much, but obviously, and analytics and all the other good stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be about it. Peace.